Hello students, this lecture deals with source code. So the initial topic selection for this course was made by using text mining on some 70,000 software engineering papers. From those papers we identified topics, and then we identified the topics with the highest rising trend. In the slide you can see the word code highlighted with this type of dashed line, and you can see it's among the top 5 rising trends starting from 1970s and ending until 2015. The most probable words for the topic source code can be seen in this figure. So we had 988 papers that were classified under this group, and the top words for them were code, source, open, projects, changes, usage, documentation, API, detecting, and clones. Here is a borrowed slide from Roberto Di Cosmo, who runs the site www.softwareheritage.org. Basically, source code has been experiencing lightning fast growth for the past 50 years. In a figure you can see Margaret Hamilton, that led the team that developed Apollo 11 guidance computer system in 1968. This system was one of the first successful large-scale systems, and it consisted of 60,000 lines of code. Margaret has described these beginnings as follows: "When I first got into it, nobody knew what it was that we were doing. It was like the Wild West. To a degree, it is still like the Wild West, as the growth of source code is rapid." From the site linuxcounter.net we can see the growth of the Linux kernel starting from the version 1.0 that was released in 1994. We can see that the 1.0 had 150,000 lines of code. 2.0 had roughly 600,000 lines of code, meaning 4 times the size of 1.0. Jumping to version 3.0, we suddenly have nearly 12 million lines of code. And according to this site, the current count of lines of code in Linux kernel is over 20 million lines. Going back to the slides of Robert Di Cosmo, we can see 2 examples of source code snippets. From the Quake 3 source code example we can see some interesting comments. For example, here, this line, you can see I equals star, long star, et, y. Then there's a comment, evil floating point bit level hacking. On the next line something rather strange happens, and there is a comment, what the fuck. Another example from Linux shows code with much more elegant and insightful commenting. To summarize, source code is at the heart of software engineering. The growth of source code is huge, and source code comes with varying levels of quality.